Hello everyone, it's Lynette with Grammy Crochet, and today is December 12th, 2021. This will be Charm Chatter number 262, and thanks for joining me here in the semi-new yarn room, or craft room, or I'm not really sure yet because I still haven't made a complete decision as to what I'm doing. But this is here, and someone was asking, this is an old bed frame. My son used to have bunk beds in his room, and on bunk beds, if you're not familiar, they don't use a box spring because the space. So they used to do what they called a bunkie board, and it was a wooden board. But his frame was metal in this newer model that's now still 30 years old. And so this is the frame that held the mattress. So they would have a mattress that sat on this, and then the other bed had a mattress that sat on one just like it. And so this is one of the frames, and I just turned it sideways so that I could hang my projects on it. Because I thought it could be an interesting backdrop. So that's what I did. And I can't screw it to the wall because the part that would screw into the bed frame would sit like this, and then that, so it sits like this on the wall. Anyway, doesn't really matter. It's not screwed in, it just leans against the wall. And I did steal this from like a Pinterest thing where they made shelving out of it or something, and I'm like, why can't I just use it as a hanging thing? So that's what I did. So for those that were questioning how I did that, that's all it is. If you don't have a bed rail with those kind of bars in between, then I don't know what you do. I'm not smart enough to know that, but Pinterest might be able to help you out. So that's that. I did have a couple things I wanted to catch up with you on. First, I want to thank you all for joining me. And watching the video to the end is very helpful, so I appreciate that. I have some happy mail, couple of happy mails, and a finished object that I want to show you because I need to wrap it. So that's where we are. So let's start with the happy mail. I got some cards. This one is from Nancy from Nan's Next Knots. I had not yet opened this one. I love Nan's Next Knots. As you know, I did do a Nan's Next Knot blanket, two. This is one of the things that I did with Nan's Next Knots Luck of the Draw 3, and it's a campfire cardie. It's a Ruana shawl. I'm not taking it down to show you. But what Nan does is every week you have 8 colors, and you number them randomly 1 through 8. And every week she draws a number, and that's what color you use, along with a base color. So this is her pattern. My base color in this was the gray, and then every week she drew another color, and in between you do rows of your base color. In my case, it was gray. So that was my first one to do of Nan's Next Knots, which was her 3rd time doing it. And the response on that one was so good that she did it again for Luck of the Draw 4, and that was the snowflake blanket that I have on the back of my couch, and that's in a previous video. Throughout many of the videos, you saw me making the squares. In the previous video, I did show the blanket on the back of my couch, and I love it. So this is the card that Nan sent me. And let's see, it says, may your holidays sparkle with joy and happiness. Wishing you peace and love, joy this holiday season. This card reminded me of you. Thanks for doing the Luck of the Draw with me, and thank you for taking me to Florida too. Nancy went to Florida with me when I went with the Zoom girls to Florida. Nancy was on my Damn It doll, and so she got to go along with along with us on the trip. And of course the snowflakes, because of my Luck of the Draw 4 blanket. Snowflakes, I love it. I actually bought wrapping paper that looks like that this year. I'm going to put these up somewhere, the cards that I've gotten. Normally at Christmas time I put them up around my living room, but I'm going to put, I think, some up in here. Then I got this card from Crystal, from Coffee Crochet and Cuddles, and Kess from Kess Crafts made it. She made the card, she made the labels, so I'm going to show you everything. First of all, oh, this is the label. She put my name on there, and then this little purple paw print, because purple is Crystal's favorite color as well as mine, and Crystal has these puppy dogs. She has 3 of them. They're all white, and she has them named Blizzard, Avalanche, and of course now it's not coming to me. Blizzard, Avalanche. I want to say Snowflake, but that's wrong. Glacier. That's it. So now this is the card, and I don't know. Can you see the sparkle? Oh, I forgot to turn the light on. Maybe you can see it now. I don't know, but the card sparkles front and back. Look at the Christmas tree paws, and it's got a little star on top, but then all the paws and the tree trunk is snowflakes. She put Crystal's logo in the middle. Crystal does also have a channel, Coffee Crochet and Cuddles. So here's her dogs, and then Coffee Crochet and Cuddles in the cup with yarn. How cute. It says season greetings, wishing you and your loved ones peace, health, happiness, and prosperity in the coming year. Lots of love, Crystal, Avalanche, Blizzard, and Glacier. And there's another paw print on the inside. Sparkly. That is so awesome, Crystal. I totally love the card. And Kess, you did a fabulous job. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I have another card. This one is from Judy. And let me get this open. Give me a second. Oh, and it's got something inside. Ooh, 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 ooh. Don't want to give Judy's address out there. It says, I'll get in there. Glory to the Newborn King. Beautiful card. And, oh, look at this. This is a New Mexico chili with a stitch marker on it. Isn't that adorable? It's like a bookmark, because Judy, she also has a channel, Crochet Every Day with Judy. And Judy, not only does she crochet, but she reads to us. So very apropos that she has, and she's from New Mexico. So all works out. So cute, Judy. I totally love that. I'm going to cherish it forever. I love the stitch marker. It's glass. Oh, that's really cute. Look at that. It's glass. I don't know. Can you tell? Wowza. That's adorable. And then the bookmarker. So adorable. And she's got a paper in here that tells about New Mexico and Santa Fe. And the card says, rejoice, Christmas brings blessings beyond measure. I hope you enjoy using your bookmark and stitch marker. I'm going to, without a doubt. And I'm not going to read all of this, but it is, I mean, I'll read it to myself, but it's lengthy. And it's all about New Mexico chili, or New Mexican chili, with scientific names and Spanish names and things that I cannot read. So thank you for that card, and the lovely, I just totally love the stitch marker. I'm into the glass stuff, so, and that's fabulous. Then I also got Happy Mail from Miss Trisha, and I forgot to bring up the other thing I wanted to bring. Mama Swift and I are friends, and she sent me a Christmas gift, and I want to share it with you. I opened it in private, and not because I wanted to necessarily, but it came on a very windy day, and the package got blown around, and I found it on my porch. And we have been ordering a lot of things. We did a lot of our Christmas shopping online, so things have been coming in, and I don't know if my husband opened it or if it was just ripped in you know, opened because of the weather. But when I went to pick it up, something fell out. So I had to open it. So I did. And I got Trisha's permission. She didn't care if I opened it on Zoom with them or just with her or, you know, by myself. So it was like kind of already opened anyway. So this is what she sent me. It is a notions pouch for crochet. I love the color. They didn't have it in purple. I know because I looked. But it's got a zipper front. And then it's thick. Now I have a really cool notions pouch that I do like, but I took all of my notions out of that pouch plus and put them in here, all of my hooks. And this is what I love about this. All of my clover hooks fit in this side, from the teeniest, tiniest to the biggest. They all fit in here together. On my old notions pouch, they didn't all fit. The fat ones didn't fit. There wasn't like a right thing for them, you know, for the larger hooks. But they all fit in here easily because these pouches here are deep. And then there's a second row. There's just one big pouch. And then it's got this plastic to help protect it. And then there's this side, which is also deep. As you can see, it's thick. And this side, I mean, I could put my hooks in there, but this way they're easily grabbable. But in here, I put my tape measure. And I have a mess. There we go. I have a tube full of darning needles to weave in my ends. I have a bag full of paper clips, clippy clips. I know you guys know that I take these clippy clips, like they're stuck together. Grab one here, come on. Clippy clips like you do for your hair. You get them at the Dollar Tree. You can clip your hair back if it's in your eyes, or you can use them to clip your yarn together. And I do that all the time. And if it has a ball band that's getting loose, you can use the clippy clip to hold the ball band and your end of your yarn if you're working on, you know, a project or whatever. So I have a bunch of them and I just put them in this little bag and I usually keep it next to me on the couch. But now it fits in this big pocket along with a bag full of stitch markers, so that I always have plenty of stitch markers at the ready. I always have, the only thing I don't have in here is scissors, but I don't keep scissors in my other one either. But I do have scissors that I could probably put in here. But I don't. But I have everything else that I could possibly need for crocheting in this little bag. And they all fit in better than they did in the pouch that I had them in before. Or the, you know, notions container, which I wanted to bring up here to show in the video, but oops, oh darn, hold on, dropping things. But I forgot that. So Trish, I totally love it. It does a wonderful job. Everything that I want goes in here, and it's so cute. So cute and soft. So this easily fit in your go bag, and you have all your hooks. Totally love it. Totally love it. I will use that for a long time. Now, as you guys know, I was doing, and I'm just putting some yarn over here. I had, the Secret Yarnery had their 2021 crochet along, and every month you made a different square. And my yarn's falling. See, I'm stacking up yarn over here. So every month you did a different square, and at the end you would have 12 squares to make a blanket. Oh, that fell out of there. I gotta pin that back on. So I connected them, but I connected the blanket And I did kind of show it, I think, once. I connected it before she got to that point in the videos, because I needed to get it done because it's a Christmas gift. And I didn't want to be too rushed. So I connected it with a braided join that it was actually a tutorial on her channel already. Even though that, but I did not do the border around each square like she did. And I added more squares to make it larger. And then I was going to add more colors. My original plan was that I was going to have 4 colors, 3 squares each. But I didn't think the blanket was going to be large enough for what I wanted. So then I decided that I would make it like 30 squares. So I was going to add 2 more colors, and it was going to be 5 of each square of 6 different colors to be 30 squares. Well, when I got the first 4 colors on, this darn blanket was huge. So I decided not to put the last 2 colors on and make them into their own blanket. So the first 4 colors were, let me show it to you this direction. And I can't get the whole thing in the camera at once anyway. So I started with pink, and then I was orange, yellow, and mint. It doesn't look very minty on there, but it's a mint green. And then I was going to do lavender and blue. So I did the lavender and the blue on the border. So they did get into it. And when it's laid out and you can see all the colors with the border, you can see the lavender and blue better on this side. It does look very nice. I really like it, but it's very large. Large and in charge. So you can't see the whole thing at one time. But the colors are done in rows, you know, pink row, and there's 5 of each square, or 5 of each color. And I just randomly went through and grabbed additional squares, you know, went to a video and said, okay, I'll make this. And I did a couple of squares of different colors in it. So each square, no color has the same square twice, but the squares have been repeated. Because this has 20, I guess. 5 times 4 colors times 5 squares. So this has 20 squares in it. And they are just kind of randomly, after the initial, they were just kind of randomly picked whatever color I was working on at the time and whatever square I liked doing. So I did that, and then with the leftover, I had started the lavender and the blue squares, and I had, I think, 4 of each of them. So I had 8 squares. I was almost out of lavender yarn. I used the lavender in other projects besides this one before doing this project. So anyway, I took the lavender and the blue, and I made a total of 9 squares. And then I put them together the same way. So I went blue, lavender, blue, and then the next row was lavender, blue, lavender, and then back to the blue, lavender, blue. So the 4 corners are lavender, or blue, I mean, and they alternate. So there's 1 more blue square than there are lavender squares. And then I took the other colors of the rainbow and made the border. So it's a wider border than on the original. But the girl that the big blanket is made for has a little sister. And so I thought that I would make the smaller blanket out of the leftover squares and border it with the sister's colors, and they could have semi-matching or definitely coordinating blankets, the big sister and the little sister. So that's what I did. So now there's 2 blankets. So that's 2 blankets down this year. I did finish the Nan's Next Knots up other blanket. So that's 2, 3. I did my Van Halen blanket. That's 4. So when I finish, and I am joining together now the squares, and it's going to be, I think there's 30 squares in that blanket with the Birthstone Make Along AU, Birthstone Mail AU, with Judy from Witch Piece Craft. When I finished that one, I did make 32 squares, but because I was a little square crazy apparently. So I am taking 2 of the squares and making a pillow to match out of it. And I'm gonna actually sew a liner. Yeah. I have to figure out how to use the sewing machine. I have a sewing machine of my own. And it's very simple, but every time I get it out, I have to like review the instructions on how to like do the bobbin and whatever. But I found a big box of fabric, and there was a perfect yellow to match the yellow squares that I wasn't using. So I'm going to use that and make a liner, and then crochet the square around, or crochet the squares, the kaleidoscope square around it, and make a pillow. And the pillow will match. So that's kind of cool. And I think I'm going to put it on the new bed that we're getting in the spare bedroom. I think that blanket will go there when the bed gets here and the blanket is done. So I think that's, oh, then I made one other blanket. I made this blanket this year. Oh, you can't see it. I don't know if I can figure out how to let you see it. Yeah, see this one up here, right here, that I want to donate to, if they ever do it again, the Snowball Express, Jaxie from Jaxie's Creations by Jax. She'll have to let me know when they're doing that again, but I'm holding on to it until then. I really like that blanket. So that's how the blankets that I made this year. And the only one that's not done is the Birthstone Mail, and I'm just crocheting that together. But I just haven't sat down. Well, I did this one. I finished that. That was like a impromptu. So I did do several blankets this year. Now I used on this, this was Pound of Love Creamsicle, was the orange. And I used that in this as well. It's right here. This one right there is the creamsicle, as you can see. This is how much I have left after this and this of the Creamsicle Pound of Love. This is a Dreamweaver yarn, and it was also a 1 pound, I think 867 yards. And this is what's left of that. We caked him up the other morning, my husband and I. This is also a Dreamweaver yarn, and there were 2 skeins of this, and this is what's left of that. And those were like 5-ounce skeins or 7-ounce skeins or whatever. This is the blue that I was using, and it was gifted to me from a friend. It never had a label on it, but I think it's a Bret Hart Super Saver, and it was probably a big one as well, or a Caron 1 pound, because this is a pretty large cake still, and it's all continuous. So there's that, but it didn't have a label on it. She had, my friend's aunt passed away, and that was in her stash, and there was something very small started out of it, and I couldn't figure out what it was, so I ripped that out, and now it's in this blanket. And finally, this also was a Dreamweaver yarn in a big, huge 1 pound, and this is what's left of it. I must have used it for something else as well, because there's a lot less of this than the other 1 pound size, but I don't remember what else I used it for. So that is my finished object, my happy mail, including my new Notions bag. Totally love it. And that is the end of this video. So I've been doing the Blissmas with Rosalie from Yarn It Out. If you haven't been watching those, please join us. We've been really enjoying them. and getting some very awesome gifts between the two of us. So I will link those, the Blissmas videos, just hashtag Blissmas 2021. And you can watch those if you so desire. In my videos, I've included my granddaughter. She is getting a gift for her Christmas tree every day. I have crocheted an ornament for her tree. And the first ornament to go on her tree was not crocheted, though. And the last ornament to go on her tree is also not crocheted. But all the other ornaments have been ornaments that I've crocheted. And she's put them on her tree. And now she is also getting an advent calendar box starting tomorrow. So if you haven't joined in, come and enjoy the fun. They're very short videos, so you can knock them out 1, 2, 3. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for joining me. There's so many channels to watch, particularly now, because I know everybody's doing some kind of Vlogmas for Christmas, for December. So I really do appreciate you joining me here in the semi-yarn room. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.